my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little John out in the brewery once again, and today I'm throwing together simple dry extract lager. This is the full batch recipe from the hop experiment with the Lemonaughty, which I did a tasting video on just a couple of days ago, a week ago. So I'm just getting set up at the moment. I've got the Robobrew here. I'm just going to go for the Robobrew. We're just doing a boil. I'm going to use the Robobrew just simply because it's going to be easier when it comes to cooling. I haven't got to change all the fittings and stuff around. I would have rather gone with the 50 litre pot with the boil kettle. You'll see why as we go. But didn't want to really fiddle around too much, so this is what I'm doing. So Robobrew sitting here. I've got 17 litres of water in here warming up. Now I'm looking for a 23 litre batch, so I'm going to need about 29-30 litres in here. Probably going to push it to 30. I expect to have about a 4 litre boil off over 60 minutes. And that'll leave a little bit for cooling, a little bit of losses to the chiller itself, and a little bit of crud, and should get me 23-24 litres in the fermenter without too much trouble. So 17 litres in here. I've got 15 litres heating up in another pot, which I'll add to this. And as I said, there's a reason for this, but I'm going to start this at the moment. I'm getting some malt in, so I've got just light dry malt. Now I've left the bottom plate in the Robobrew. Now the cover that goes over the bottom, not the plate in the malt pipe. The malt pipe's not in here. Add just a little bit of the go just to get it in. Temperature's up around 50 odd degrees I think at the moment. 54, so the malt's dissolving in there pretty easily. Now, what I'm looking at for this batch is there will be 2.1 kilos of the light dry malt and 700 grams of dextrose. Yeah, so 700. Yeah, generally I'm not a big fan of dextrose, but for this brew it is necessary, and I will explain that again shortly. I'm going to get this up and going. I'm going to sit down and have a chat about why we're using the dextrose and things you need to be aware of when you're using dry extract. So 2 litres there. I've got just over 100 grams here. It will go in. It doesn't matter what extract you use. And it's actually funny, the first 2 bags there were from Craft Brewer, and they dissolved pretty much instantly with plenty of water. The last bit was the Citra dry malt, and it's gone clumpy and weird. It's very interesting. Don't know why it would do that, but it has. But it dissolves plenty good anyway. Okay, so at the moment I'm just leaving the malt in there. I'm not going to put the dextrose in. And again, I will talk about that shortly. Now, I'm not going to worry about the recirculator or anything this at the moment. I want to bring this to a boil. The reason I've got 17 litres in there because this will froth up like all buggery, and I need plenty of room for it to do that without boiling over. So I'm going to keep a bit of an eye on it. We come up to around that boil mark. It's going to take about another 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to go and find myself a little spray bottle, get some water, so I can try and control this a little bit. But this will get out of control. I'll switch to the other camera so we can get a better look at it when it happens. Because it is crazy how much this stuff will foam up and froth when it hits the boil. So we'll come back when we're at the boil and we'll have a look at that. Okay, so we just come into a boil now. Little squirty bottle ready. See, this will start frothing up very quickly. So 99. So I'm going to cut off the 500 element just to try and turn it down a little bit. Now, obviously, I've not done extract in the in here before, so we'll see how bad it's going to get. There's a little bit more room here, but I'd certainly know I can boil over 2 litres of starter mix in a 10 litre pot on the stove. And this climate doesn't seem to be too bad. I think we're going to be right here. So all I want to do right now is just give it a minute or two to come through the hot break, get that under control, and then I will add in the rest of my water to bring this up to full volume, the 30 litres, and then bring it back to a boil. And I won't have to worry then that it's going to boil over, because we'll get rid of this hot break now and that will be fine. Yeah, and that's that under control nicely. And again, that's why I'll keep that lower volume in there. Reduce the chances that get messy, because that stuff will make a big mess. And that break will foam up a hell of a lot more than it will, say, with an all grain batch. Okay, so that's near finished now. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes for that break to settle down. Okay, so I'll let that finish. It's only going to take about another minute, that'll drop down and we'll be right. And I'll top it up. And so I'll be back shortly. We'll have a chat about, about the issues with the malt, what you need to be aware of, and also what hops we're sticking in this. Okay, so we're back on the second boil, and we are frothing up a bit, but it's staying under control. We haven't got much room to play with, but I did knock the 500 element off again once we hit the boil, just so it's not too strong. And that seems to be going okay. Okay, so I've not needed to use the water, but the spray. We're far off though. Okay. There. I have added the dextrose in once I topped it up, so that's contributing somewhat to the extra boil up, I don't know, but either way we've kept it under control, and it should be close to falling back down, and we can get our first hop addition, which I've weighed up waiting for the boil to come. And then she's got the wife's lunch cooked as well. She's on the lounge. We've got near broken her. We've moved about bloody, I don't know, 2 very large piles of dirt over the last 2 days, backfilling the pool area, getting ready to put some turf around there, and she's feeling mighty sore. So well, the least I could do for me, she saved me probably 4 hours of shoveling and wheelbarrowing extra. I should at least make a lunch. Okay, so that's starting to come down now, so I'll go and get this first hop edition. And in with the bag. Now I use these bags. I got these when I bought the kegerator from Kegland. They actually came free. This is what tipped me over the edge and actually got me to buy the kegerator, because I got an email saying they were doing these 5 bags for free if you made an order. And when I jumped on and have a look what else was available, the Robobrew was back in stock about 3 days earlier than expected. So there you go. Nothing like a free hop stock to get you to spend $400. But there's 5 of those, and I prefer to use those than the spider. I've got a spider I previously had, not the one that Kegland do, but I prefer to use the bags. They're easier to get out, and they roll around the boil. I think they get better contact. I feel they do anyway. Okay, so that's rolling along nice. It's got a good boil, still only on the 1900 watt element, but I will pop the 500 back on because I do want this to boil really well. The last batch I didn't get the boil off that I'd allowed for, and I think it was because I only used the 1900 and not the full 2400 watts. So we'll give that a crack. So I'll leave that go now for 45 minutes until it's time for a bit of wheel flock and look at some more additions. Rightio. Boil's well underway. Just stuck wheel flock tablet in 15 minutes from the end, and we'll have a quick chat about the dry malt and extract and things you need to be aware of when you're using it, and also the hops that are going in this brew. And given we've already got hops in, beer time. So, as I said earlier, there's a few things you need to be aware of when you're working with dry malt. And liquid malt as to the same degree, but I don't think it's quite as bad. The problem you have is that malt, dry malt particularly, and I think the liquid malt's not much better, is relatively low in fermentability compared to other sugars. Your dry malt sits anywhere from about 60 to 65% fermentability, depending on various factors, the type, the manufacturer, the manufacturing process, but have a little bit of variance in it. Now you compare that to dextrose, which is 100% fermentable. It's a big difference. Now, when you're doing all grain extracting sugars, those sugars, again for the most part, depending on where you're mashing, it varies, but it is generally in that 80 to 90% range. So when you start using a dry malt, you really start bringing up the quantity of unfermentable sugar that's in your beer. Now, unfermentable sugar leaves body, which isn't a bad thing. and lose sweetness, which again, depending on the beer, is not a bad thing. But if you're using all malt and you're getting a low fermentability, and then factor in your attenuation of your yeast, you start getting left with a very heavy, sweet, what essentially will be a sickly beer. And this, I think a lot of brewers, particularly when they start going into extract or stepping up from tins into extract, have trouble because they're told, oh, your beer should be all, it should be all malt, it should be 100% malt in your beer, the best beer. Yeah, but that's all dependent on a lot of factors. So just the idea and how it's working is the beer that I've based this off, the trial beer, was 85% dry malt, 15% dextrose, and it's reasonably heavy and it is sweet. And when you're running for a beer like this, which is quite light in the hops, and you're looking for that, light finish and low body, it doesn't work. It's fine if you're going for an amber or even a golden ale, and you're pushing your stouts and stuff. But when you're trying to do a lager or a light pale ale, you don't want all that sugar left behind. So you need to find, there's got to be ways of counteracting what the malt's doing. And there's three ways of doing it. And one, which is quite often as you see getting used, is that this dry enzyme. It gets thrown around a lot with kit beers, particularly they throw a dry enzyme in. You're trying to clone a particular kind of beer, where you want a thin, light body. So I'll say throw this in, and what the enzyme does is it converts the unfermentable sugars into fermentable sugars, without going into the science behind it. Mashing produces essentially two kinds of sugars, long sugar, short sugar, and yeast will eat the easy sugar first and leave the hard sugar behind. Right now, off the top of my head, I can't think which one is which, but I'm pretty sure the short sugars get eaten easily and the long sugar stays behind because it's too tough. It can't be broken down into the sugars that the yeast like. Could be the other way around, either way. So we'll talk easy sugars and the hard sugars. This converts the hard sugars into more of the easy sugars, so the yeast will eat it. So what you'll do when you're using a dry enzyme in a beer, quite often you'll get your gravity down to 1,000, 1.002. I've had a beer go 0.998 using the dry enzyme. It strips all those sugars down so the yeast can eat them, and so effectively what you get is no body in the beer, which nobody wants. You want some body left, so this isn't really an ideal way of doing it. I did toss up putting a little bit in this brew, but changed my mind. The other method, and what is probably easiest and more manageable, is to use a percentage of dextrose. And using that dextrose to get more fermentable sugars to bring your balance down. Now, just give me a second, I'm going to go and drop in the next hop addition here. Okay, so that was first of the flavour additions. I've got one more to go. I'll just set this quickly. Okay, so as a dextrose, because it's 100%, you can increase your overall fermentability within the wort. So I said that last batch, which was 85-15, was still a bit heavy. So although on this one I pushed it to 75-25, hence the 2.1 kilos of malt, 700 grams of dextrose, give me a total of 2.8, 25 and 75%. Now, what I'm hoping is that will pull us back closer to that 85% fermentability. Because what you also got to factor in with the fermentability is that then you have your yeast attenuation, and the yeast will only eat a certain percentage of the fermentable sugars. Again, that is variable on when hot dextrose, the yeast will eat all of that sugar. In that dry malt fact that yeast has got a 75% attenuation will not achieve 75% in a pure dry malt extract brew. It's just not going to happen. And this is why you see guys going, hang on, why is my brew finished at 10, 16, 10, 18? Other brews have been finished at 10:06, 10:08, because you replace all your dextrose with malt and only malt. And you'll see when I'm throwing recipes around and giving recipe advice on particularly cans, that I use malt and dextrose together, not just one, most of the time, for that very reason. So you're not bringing your body and your the unfermentable sugars up too far. To keep them under control. Your third option, of course, is to use a highly attenuating yeast, such as a saison or a Brett, or something like that. But that's beer specific. You're not just going to use a saison yeast on a pale ale or on a lager. It doesn't work. So that's an option that's not really a mainstream answer. It's on the fringes. So that's why this brew's got a good whack at dextrose. So I'm hoping to have some sweetness whilst keeping the gravity down. I'm hoping that it will finish this brew somewhere around 1007, 1008, starting at 1041. I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it finishes more like 1012, and that I can live with. That will be fine. I'm not running this as a lager, simply because I don't have the time. This is coming out for the son's wedding, the family all coming up, so this is a beer that everyone's going to be drinking on the night before the wedding. We're going to have about probably 50 family and stuff here the night before the wedding, having a barbecue and pre-wedding drinks. A couple of the brother-in-laws have put out the word that beer's on, so need beer they can drink, so this is one of them. So I'm using on this brew Nottingham yeast. I've got a starter going over here, fired it up a couple of days ago, off the slurry. Calculated that out. It's got should have about 20% more cells than I actually need, and I'm going to run that at 16 degrees. So I'm hoping the Nottingham, which is a fairly will strip a lot of sugars. It is a bit of a beast of a yeast, and it does want to eat harder. I'm hoping it'll go to 78% instead of 75 with the attenuation. Get that a little bit drier, but I'm happy if it stays that little bit more. So I'm hoping it's going to swing that line between lager and pale ale. But we'll have to wait and see, and there'll be tasters down the track. So that's the things to watch out for, the malt, things to watch out for with your yeast and whatnot, how to use some dextrose. Of course, you need to play with these things for your own tastes and your own style of what your beer making. That's it. 2.1 kilos of dry malt, 700 grams of dextrose. I'm looking for the original gravity of 1041, and I won't know if I've got that until I get to the fermenter after I've chilled. I'm not going to bother with any pre-boils and stuff like that. So hop-wise, bittering addition was 6 grams of Lemonaughty, which is the trial, the hop experiment that we went with, and 7 grams of Warrior. So balance of both. The Warrior is going to be nice and clean, and the Lemonaughty I'm hoping might still leave a little bit of a lemony feel. Might lose it with the full 60 minutes, but I think it's not going to do any harm anyway, I don't think. That last addition, which was 8 minutes left in the boil, was 15 grams of Lemonaughty, And the last addition, which is going to go on in about 20 seconds, is 20 grams of Citra. That will go on for 2 minutes, and then I'll pump this through my double coil chiller straight to the fermenter, and hopefully be down around somewhere around 18-19 degrees into the fridge to pitch the yeast, and then straight down to 16 for to ferment. So I'm going to pop these in, go and quickly set the chiller up and continue on. Okay, so cooling and transfer is underway. Swap as she goes. There we go. Still come out there a bit warm at the moment, but that'll drop as the ice melts. Drop to 90. It's recirculated back into the Robobrew at first to make sure everything was all sanitised, and in that process it has dropped down to 90. That's still a little warm, it's not real hot. So that will drop more as the ice continues to melt. There's no water in the esky. I don't start with any water, just the ice, and as the ice melts that adds the cold water. Now the post boil was about 27.5 litres. Didn't quite get the boil off I was looking for. So we'll see that affects the final gravity. Cooling off as we go. Now I've left the hot bags in, I haven't bothered taking them out. Will work a bit like a bit of a hop stand, having them still in there. Not too much. So that's it, we'll let that go now until she's finished, and we'll have a look once it's on the fermenter and see what we're looking at temp wise and gravity wise. Righto, we're all done. Brew's in the fermenter, it's in the fridge. It went in, it was 20.5 degrees, so the chill got pretty much exactly where we wanted to. So I'm pretty happy with that. I only used one bag and a couple of chunks I had, so I was a bit worried it might come up a little bit higher, but it's dropped down really nice. Hydro sample come in at 1040. Oh, I think it was 1043, 1044. 23.5 litres into the fermenter. So pretty much right around where we want to be. A couple of points extra on the gravity. Which I'm happy with. So volume numbers were pretty good. I said just that little bit extra on that gravity. I said, and that's a variant with the malt. That's going to happen. So that should be fine. I was aiming for an ABV of 4.4, I think. This will be kegged, so it might sneak out to 4.46, 4.7. Again, depends on what the yeast does. If the yeast doesn't quite kick in, then we might stick at that 4.4. So it's in the fridge. I've set the temperature at 15.8 degrees, 16 degrees, with the Nottingham, and I've only got about yay much space in the top of the fermenter, so I've stuck a blow off tube on there, and hopefully that won't bloody spew crap everywhere, because I'm imagining this Nottingham is going to go off like a bastard. And I probably should have used my 30 litre fermenter, but I've only just finished kegging what was in it post chill on the on this brew, so I had to have a fermenter already done, and that meant going with the 25, which means there's a bit less space. So hopefully the blow off tube will handle it. If not, I'll be cleaning up a messy fridge, tomorrow night. So we'll see. But that's it. If you've got any questions, stick them down the bottom there. Again, I'll stick the recipe, grain bill and the hot bill down the bottom here, so you can have a look at it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button down there, do it, so you can catch up on everything's going on when we're tasting things, when we're brewing the next lot of stuff. So that's it. Till I'm looking at you again, we're brewing some beer, playing beer, talking beer. Good brewing.